Well, that's what we call a cliffhanger in the reality TV business. Welcome to part 2 of Traitors RHAP. Where we last left off, the final 5 was at the final banishment ceremony, looking to find the traitors. We have 5 players deciding who that they should vote out of the game. And we will not find out publicly whether or not the person being banished is a faithful or a traitor. Then, following this, we'll have our end game when the players will decide whether to keep banishing or to end the game. A dramatic moment to begin part 2. We will return with our players after a technical issue forced us offline from part 1. Let's bring them back into the castle. Where is our dear Jelinsky? Yes. All right. Well, fate intervened and gave you all an extra couple of moments to collect your thoughts. To our audience who was watching live, we paused, we stopped down. The players have not been talking during this interruption, but we are so back and we are ready to continue our conversation. Now, where were we?
Okay, Jelinsky, who do you think it is?
He thinks it's me.
Okay.
He thinks it's me.
In this current moment, but I will have something to say at the end.
Okay. I don't want to say Jelinsky, like I don't want it to be you, but you keep pushing for me and I don't really know how else to defend myself. I wish that this was me just being outsmarting everyone and being the best traitor ever, but as a faithful, this is extremely frustrating and I'm very anxious, and so that's why I'm like, if you guys want to banish me, great. I know that I'm going to the grave with my honesty and I'll throw it in your face later, I guess, but like I wouldn't say that if I was a traitor.
Okay,
like I'm willing to just die.
Let me remove my tunnel vision because obviously Bayleigh and I are saying each other's names. I would love to hear where everybody else's head's at because we know where our heads are at.
Yeah. I'll be honest, before I even started this game yesterday, when I was thinking of who would be traitors, Jelinsky, you were the first name I thought of. I feel like you are such a good character. You add so much humor. You're just like a funny guy, and I thought you would be the traitor. And so I think you've like played very, very well. I think in my head, it makes sense for there to be a Survivor player and a Big Brother player at the beginning. And I think you haven't had that much heat on you. And that makes me really question you. And I'm like very open to what you think. But right now I'm planning on writing down your name.
Anybody else? Bowie, Tiff?
I also am. There's no way it would be 3 Big Brother players. I mean, it just seems weird, unless it's totally random. That would be the only other way. So that only leaves a few people. So I would have to go with Jelinsky as well.
Tiff, what do you think?
I'm just going to go ahead and say I was actually leaning either Bowie or Bayleigh, and I'll give you guys my reasoning behind that. Bayleigh, it was strictly just because QT was like somebody that I really felt was like giving off big faithful energy, and she wrote your name down and then she was murdered. And Bowie, I can't really say that like you've given me traitory vibes. It's just that I don't think we've gotten the opportunity to connect that much. So that's why I don't feel that like solid with you. But if I had to choose between you guys, it probably would lean Bayleigh. And that's only because of QT.
Okay.
So why do you guys think that Tiffany and Claire aren't saying each other at all?
I'm very willing.
I was pointing at Claire until we started getting traitors out behind her, like, you know,
right, on her request, right?
I know I'm in hot water. All I can say is that I am a faithful. So I'm willing to die. You know,
That's what I'm saying. What if we're both faithfuls then, Jelinsky? Like, let's picture a world that I am a faithful. Everything I'm saying makes sense.
It does. And, you know, I hate to have this as a reason, but I've been saying this in like private rooms when it's just me. Tiff, I do feel like you could have strung me along a little bit because I know I trust you and you know I trust you. And if I'm being honest, the fact that Bayleigh and I are going at each other so hard kind of makes me think that Bayleigh is not the traitor. And I just voted for her the other night. I feel like I would have be killed in the night. And I feel like when you tried to get me, I had my shield. So I do really look, if I was a traitor, if I wasn't a faithful, I wouldn't have made it past that night. I had a shield that protects me. That's confirmed.
That is what I said in the other room when you weren't there. I said it's very interesting. He had a shield. It doesn't make sense. That is kind of proving that he's a faithful.
It would be a waste of a vote right now.
I would counter that point that if you think I'm stringing you along, why on earth would I try to murder you? That makes no sense.
I feel like you're smart enough to know when I would have caught on.
But I mean, at this point, I mean, maybe I misread it, but also I didn't think that. I mean, I still don't think that you're a traitor. And I thought that like we were actually working towards the same goal, but I just think it would be stupid to vote out somebody who you like were solid that is in your corner. And up until you just said my name, I thought that we were on the same page. And I gave my reasoning behind Bayleigh. And I'm not saying that I didn't point my fingers at Claire, because I also did, because that was Bayleigh's reasoning. Me and Claire were going at each other either. And then we started looking elsewhere and we started finding traitors. So that's all I'm going to say.
I think Bayleigh we need to get to our vote.
Yeah, heat on her since the beginning, and she keeps skating out of it.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. If I was a traitor, kudos to me. But as a faithful, it sucks.
All right. Anything else people need to get off their chest before we vote? We will not reveal whether the person being voted out here is a faithful or a traitor. Any objections to voting?
Claire, I am not a traitor.
Jelinsky, I want to believe you, but if
you vote for me here, I know you're a traitor, and I hope that the faithfuls get you out.
Jelinsky, right now, it's because you're a traitor.
Everything I love, I am not a traitor. Bayleigh, I feel like we had a conversation. Bowie, I feel like you could have trusted me this whole game.
Like,
I'm voting down Tiffany's name.
Do you think it's Tiffany? Do you think it's Tiffany? I know it's not me. So do you think it's Tiffany then?
Well, now I feel like because you coming so hard at me that this is giving traitor energy, because as soon as people start putting votes on you, Jelinsky, you start pointing fingers where nobody's pointing fingers. Just in the other chat, you were talking about Bayleigh, how you were gung-ho on Bayleigh.
I was, but that was out in the open. You know, now that I feel like I can think a little bit clearer, I can see a world where you're the traitor. And I'm going to write down Tiffany's name.
And I'm going to write down
I do think you're being honest. And Bowie, so anyway.
Okay.
All right, so now instead of
okay,
I've written down mine as well.
Let's vote. Yeah. Let's vote. Bowie, need a vote from you.
Jelinsky.
Oh, okay. Well, right. Everybody's done writing. Everybody's done writing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't even. Okay. I just put my marker.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I thought you verbally have voted, Jelinsky.
I don't know.
You don't know. You just said who you're going to vote for.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens.
Okay. All right. Jelinsky, give us your vote.
I'm writing down.
Bowie.
Tiffany.
Tiffany. Okay. That's what he said. All right. Tiffany, what did you write down? Jelinsky. Okay. It's 2 for Jelinsky, 1 for Tiffany. Okay. Let me go to Bayleigh.
I still think it could be Claire, but I put Tiffany.
Okay. All right. So that gives us what? 2 Tiffany, 2 Jelinsky, correct?
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. Claire, you will cast the deciding vote to the person who is voted for, assuming you voted for one of those 2 people. To the person that's being voted for, again, do not reveal your role. We will not find out here. We will then give some time for the final 4 to talk before we begin the end game. Claire, what name did you write down?
To me, you just threw out 3 names, and that seems desperate. So Jelinsky.
Jelinsky. Okay, Jelinsky, do not reveal. Do not say what your role was. You brought so much to the game today, Jelinsky. I love you. So glad that you were here. I appreciate all the kind things you said about RHAP today.
I had a great time, Rob. Thank you for having me.
Feel free to go and talk about your whole adventure in the Twitch chat with Puya, okay?
Okay, someone will give me
We'll give you the link, okay?
Okay.
All right. See you on the flip side, Jelinsky. All right. So,
Wow.
to the final 4 ladies.
Loud ladies.
Congratulations.
Woo!
You've made it this far. And
Our
maybe,
Girls Alliance worked.
Yeah, oh my God.
Finally.
finally,
Yeah.
you did it. It can be done. All right.
Can be done.
And maybe you voted out the last traitor. I'm going to give you a couple minutes just to talk about it. And then you decide, do you want to banish again, or do we end the game and find out if everybody here is faithful?
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. Okay.
All right. I'll step away. And when I come back, we will begin the end game of Traitors RHAP.
So we just check here. Okay. We check here.
Yes.
Can I
Yes.
start? Can I start?
Yeah.
Okay, so when we were in those last 2 breakout rooms, when it was y'all and then me and Jelinsky were in the other room, Bayleigh, I'll be honest with you, after I had that conversation with Jelinsky, I had your name written down and I changed it at the last minute. Because when we were in that room, first Jelinsky was pushing Claire. And after I think that he realized that I was not saying Claire's name, he flipped it to you. He's like, Tiffany, I'm so solid with you. Like, I trust you. Like, I knew. And then he was like, no matter what, I'm writing Bayleigh's name down, which is why I kind of went off like that. I'm like, after everything you just said in that chat, you trying to make me look crazy in front of everybody.
Okay, he did the same thing with me. He did a one-on-one with me. Did he do a one-on-one with anyone else?
Just me.
Yeah, he did one with me as well, and he said, I trust you, blah, blah. But he could have just been building an alliance of some sort, so.
All I know is that after that little display, I'm good. I don't think anybody here is a traitor. I mean, y'all have your own thoughts, but I will say that the reason I piped up like that is because me and Jelinsky had a conversation and I was dead ass convinced that it was you, Bayleigh. And then when he started flipping like that, I'm like, okay, whoa. What is happening right now?
I feel that there is a traitor in here. And if I was a traitor, I would say, let's just stop it now. You know, like, I do think that there's a traitor. Bowie, Claire, and I were in a room and we were kind of like, should we do Tiffany? Should we do Jelinsky? And Bowie, you and I were kind of either one. Like, I was just kind of like, if we all just agree, we'll just, like, one of them, it's not us. But Claire, you were not, you kind of said, like, I'm more on Jelinsky, like, I'm open to Tiffany. And then that kind of like raised a red flag for me. Like, why wouldn't you want to vote for Tiffany unless you guys are working together and you are traitors, or like you're a traitor and you just, I don't know, that you want to target Jelinsky.
Oh.
Like, I want to believe all of us here.
Yeah.
But like, I have to think that there's still a traitor here.
No, I 100% agree. I think we should vote here. I think, like, me doing calculations, I think there's probably one more left. I think Jelinsky was one. I think his like panic, him trying to make alliances, all of that for me points to you are a traitor. And honestly, I if we want to go like we think it's survivors, we can vote Tiffany out here. I think Tiffany and I have been brought to the end because we were going so hard at each other in the mid game that someone was like, let's take them both and they'll go after each other. I'd be very curious, Bowie, to hear your thoughts, because I feel like you've been pretty quiet.
I would say the Big Brother theory, and I'm not saying because I was on Big Brother, it does make sense because otherwise I would be leaning towards Bayleigh. But honestly, it doesn't make sense. Well, we've got one that wasn't Big Brother as well, of course. But well, I suppose that like balances it out. But I think I'd be leaning towards Tiffany. I don't know though. Honestly, we are going off a whim here.
Yeah,
I was suspicious of Tiffany in the beginning just because, like, Tiffany, you were kind of the first to ask questions that a traitor would know the answer to already. Like, did the
Or
traitors meet up
someone
yet?
hasn't seen
No,
the
no, hold
show.
on. I'm coming around to saying
Right,
that
my
I
bad.
don't know. Like that at first I'm like, maybe it's her. Like she seems really smart. That's really smart for a traitor to be like, hey, have the traitors even like, do they know who each other are? Like I would ask that if I was a traitor. That's smart. So then I was thinking you, but then it's just been such a Claire, like if you are a faithful, it's been such a perfect game where I'm like, you have taken the heat off yourself so many times flawlessly. You're always the person to say like, I think it's this person, this is who I'm voting for, so that people are more inclined to like go with that. And it's worked. And you got Felicia, but maybe that was a tactic to be like, of course I'm not a traitor. Why would I get another traitor out? I don't know why I'm not suspecting Bowie, but I'm just like not. It's just between I know that I'm not, so that's why it's really hard for me to think.
Yeah.
Also,
I think-
getting rid of a recruit is obviously easier. Like with Felicia going, that would
Right.
be the only other.
What if
thing to
there's
think
two
about.
traitors in here right now? There could be. Like I don't know.
I think that is very fair. I know I am a faithful as well. Honestly, I am suspicious of Tiffany and Bayleigh. I think that if we're going with like, if it's not Jelinsky, I think it's Jelinsky. I think like Tiffany, Bayleigh, you are the suspects I'm following up with.
Okay.
If
All
they
right.
wanted to call it now, just
I
say
want to
it.
just say one more thing because I haven't spoken. I'll also just point out the fact that everybody in here was targeted by somebody or another or Jelinsky at some point except for Bowie.
Mm.
Well,
Everybody.
that's because he had that
To get all
discussion with
the-
me.
Jelinsky
Okay.
came at you, he came
Oh
at
my
me.
God.
No, that's because he had that one-on-one.
Throughout. That's all I'm gonna say.
Here's
That
here's
is
what we'd like.
true.
Here's
He
what I'd
had
like
a
to
one-on-one
do.
with me. That's
Okay.
why.
He had a one-on-one with me too and still came in here and pointed the finger at me.
Oh, that's
Okay.
true. Well, I'm
What I'd
sticking
like
with
to
it.
do.
Bowie's the only one who hasn't really been playing the field like the rest of us. We've been in here clawing each other's eyes out. Bowie
Yeah.
hasn't done none of that.
That's
All
because
right.
I don't need to. Like, I can see
Because you're a traitor?
Nah, absolutely not.
So
I don't know.
it seems like there's a lot of discussion still to be had, but we still need to vote here to decide, will we banish or do we end the game? So we're going to need you to vote here, and the vote is banish or end. Do not write down the name of a player you
just
want
a
to banish.
or end.
Banish or end. And if we choose to banish, if one person, even just one person says banish, it could be 3 people say end the game. If one person says banish, we banish, and then we do not reveal, and we'll do it again at 3 if even one person chooses to banish. Let me know. There will be a 1 minute. We'll have 1 minute to talk if we choose to banish on who to banish. Okay. And then we'll do it again. Okay. All right. So everybody's good?
Yeah.
Let's start with Bowie. Bowie, did you choose to banish or to end?
Banish.
Banish. Okay. All right. So we're banishing. Well, just but for the record, Tiffany,
Banish.
banish. Bayleigh,
Banish.
banish. Okay. Claire,
Banish.
oh, it's unanimous. Okay. So we agreed. So that was good. That was the easy part. But we're going to need a name. Okay. And I'll also reveal the tiebreak scenario once I have it. Okay.
Did we just write the name down or are we talking?
So
again?
do you need to have any other discussion, or you're all ready to vote?
I think I'm ready.
Everybody's ready?
I'm
Bowie, you're good?
sticking- Yeah,
Hold
I'm
on, hold on,
good.
Don't reveal yet.
Closest
Don't
I've
reveal
been to
yet.
Survivor. I love
Okay.
the feeling of writing someone's
All
name
right.
there.
Okay. So, all right. If there is a tie, a 2-2 tie here, we're going to, if we can't break the tie, it's a coin flip between the 2 people who didn't get voted for. Wow, that's rough. That's tough. Okay. So we're going to need somebody to flip their vote. And if not, the 2 people who did not get voted for, this is the equivalent of drawing rocks. We will flip a coin and one of them. Okay, but we will have a revote first between the 2 people who were not voted for. All right? Okay. All right, I started with Bowie before. I'll go to Claire. Claire, who did you write down to banish?
I have to go with my gut. I'm very sorry. I voted for Bayleigh.
Bayleigh.
I know you have won this game and you can say you've won Big Brother. You can say all you want. You know, you don't know how to lie. You don't know how to play, but that's just not true. I know my BB can.
Okay.
Aw.
Bayleigh. Who did you
Um,
write down?
well, I still have suspicions, and I love this person, but I voted for Tiff.
Tiffany.
Yeah.
Okay. Tiffany, who did you write down?
I wrote Bowie.
Bowie. Okay,
And
three
she's
different
the only
names.
one that's been so chill this whole time.
All right.
I
And
am
Bowie.
chill. I'm Aussie.
Yes. Okay. Boy, and who did you write down?
Tiffany.
Tiffany. That's
All right.
two. Okay. Tiffany, thank you so much for playing. You brought so much to the game here today. We will not find out what role you played until we get back together with everybody.
You've done so well.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Stand by. All right.
My God.
Tiffany is out of the game. And now we're going to decide once again to banish or end the game.
Cool.
Okay. You have 1 minute to discuss, and then we'll just get your vote. Banish again or end the game.
Jeepers.
Here's what
I
I think. Okay, go ahead, Claire.
I'm going to vote to banish. I
You're
do
gonna
think
vote for
it's
me.
you, Bayleigh.
Yeah.
I think it was likely you and Tiffany. No matter what, I know I am good, so I am bringing this down to 2 no matter what, and I trust Bowie Jane 100%.
That's what I
And
was gonna
so
say, Bowie.
I just have to go for you here. I thought it was you last game. I was more sure it was Tiffany. Justice for Dwight, but this is just what I had to do. No matter what, I was going to do. And I do think it's you.
I thought it's been Claire for a long time, but at the beginning of this game, I was like, the first room I was in was like Claire and Quinn, and I was like, I'm gonna stick by them the whole time, and I basically did. I didn't vote to evict them, but at this point, I was like, if I get down to 4 people or 3 people, and Claire's still there, now that Tiffany's gone, I feel 99.9% sure that Bowie Jane is not the traitor. And even if Claire, you are a faithful, I feel confident getting rid of you and then ending it. But I understand you probably feel the exact same way about me, and I want to believe you and like trust you. I wish we could just end it right now, and I felt super confident with the both of you.
Okay.
That's how I
Bowie.
feel.
Now, here you are in the last 3. Do you have one question that you'd like to ask these other 2 people that sit before you? Do you have one question that would really kill it at this moment?
I would like to know how your life changed for the better.
Mother.
Now, yeah, I think I've already made up my mind.
Okay. All right. So let's.
You're so loose because Claire's traitor. I'm telling you.
So first
It
off,
may be, so be it, but
we're gonna vote to banish or to end the game. Okay. All right.
You're gonna lose, Bowie.
Okay. But I think banish
that's
or
my
end.
thing. Top three.
I think if you're faithful, Bayleigh, I think this is like, even if you get banished, I think faithfuls went all up. I don't really know how this game works, actually.
I'm
Like,
not
what
gonna
the
make it
fuck
this
are- I don't
far
know.
being an
Okay.
honest person. That's
Yeah.
great.
All right. So, Claire, what do you want to do?
I am going to banish.
Banish. Okay. All right. So we're banishing.
Banish.
Bayleigh.
Yeah,
Okay.
banish.
Okay. All right. So we're banished. Okay. So now here's where it gets interesting. We need a name.
Well, I know what they're gonna do. But you know what?
Okay.
I might be just the most correct person out of the
Okay.
game, and then that's
Okay.
it.
Let me know when everybody's good.
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Claire. We need to. Let's get your name.
I respect you so much as a game player. Our last Big Brother Canada winner, potentially. Hopefully it comes back. But I admire you so much, and it's a very heavy heart that I have to
Okay.
vote for you.
Thank you. It's an
Bayleigh.
honor.
Okay. And then Bayleigh, what name did you write down?
Oh, I didn't put an E at the end, but I voted for Claire.
Okay. For Claire. Now for you,
I think
Bowie.
that you are much smarter than people
Okay.
are giving you credit for.
You cannot vote for yourself. You will ultimately determine whether it's Claire or Bayleigh who is banished.
I agree that Claire is playing a super smart game. However, I'm going to take a gamble and I'm going with Bayleigh.
Bayleigh. Bayleigh, do not reveal what role you played in the game. We'll get all that from you in a moment. Okay?
Hey.
All right. Now, I believe that we do we banish again, or that okay, game is over. The game's over. Okay. All right, so we have stopped. Okay. And so we are now going to have you both write down what role you played. If you both wrote down faithful, you two have won the game. If one of you writes down traitor, the traitor has won the game for the traitors. Okay? All right. Let me know when you're done writing. Okay. Bowie, can you reveal what you wrote down?
I'm a faithful.
Okay.
Ah.
Claire, what did you write down?
Bowie, I'm really sorry.
You're a traitor.
I am a traitor.
Very good game. Excellent
Thank
game.
you.
So close.
I
what an exciting ending.
Really good game.
Really, really, you did so well, Bowie. I got recruited very, very late.
Oh,
Very,
really?
So
Okay.
it's very.
We're gonna bring
very
back the whole crew and talk about it here. Claire, congratulations. You did a great job. You single-handedly were destroying the traitors and then came and brought them back.
Wait, were you a traitor when Felicia was?
I was not. I was not recruited that night.
That was actually the only time.
All right, let's hold on. Let's have you guys mute your microphones, and then let's just reveal what happened here today, and then we'll get your reactions. Puya is going to join us also to bring in some questions. What a great game! Super exciting down to the end. Okay, so great game. Super exciting. Hold on, I'm hearing myself. Okay, all right. Okay. So great game. Just make sure everybody's muted here. Okay. So great game. All right. So in the beginning, I'll tell you the story of the day. There were two traitors, and it was Joseph, and it was Tiffany. They gave us two names each. Those names, LeAnn, Brando, Evvie, and Felicia, were on the hit list. And we said to the audience, you can vote to make one of these people on the hit list a traitor. You all banished Brando, but the audience said we want Felicia to be the third traitor. Felicia became one of the traitors. They had a great run until they ran into some resistance. Joseph got found out. Felicia got found out. Tiffany was all alone and had to recruit another traitor. That was Claire, who came in to then give new life to the traitors. And Tiffany and Claire took it all the way to the brink. You successfully voted out Tiffany at the end of the game, but it was Claire who went undetected to the final two. So first off, congratulations. What a great day. You all were such great sports and gave us so much. Where do we begin? Let me go to Claire first as we welcome in Puya, who also from the Twitch stream. Puya, how was everything from your perspective?
So much fun, top to bottom, a good time. The fallen contestants kept it entertaining in there as well, and the ones that made it all the way to the end, phenomenal watch. Claire, phenomenal game.
Yeah,
phenomenal game.
Okay,
all right, Claire. How do you feel?
Bad. I'm like, damn. I think it's really hard going from like faithful, like 70% of the game to like villainous at the end. My one saving grace was like no one had gotten killed out the game round before. I think like there was a lot of heat on me that round when people were like, it would make sense to recruit you? Why did you survive? Like Bowie Jane, I'm sorry.
No, all good.
Everyone else along the way. Like, this is a phenomenal group of people, and it's such an honor, and I'm such a fan of everyone, and this was so fun.
The funny thing is, I was most suspicious about you with the Felicia vote, believe it or not. That was the only time I really was like, yeah, but
You became a traitor after that.
yes,
She
that's
wasn't
the
even a traitor
thing.
when we voted
No,
Mama
that's
T.
right. That's what, yeah. So it's amazing. I just thought you were twisting everything, and let's run with it.
Yeah, it's funny. At one point, I was like, "Oh, traitors are gonna get traitors out." So like that was my thought. And then I talked to Dwight, and Dwight was like, "Why? There's no monetary prize. Like, you don't benefit from being the last one." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's so right. Like, once I'm a traitor, I could just traitor it out to the end."
Yeah.
But I didn't want to necessarily point that out. But yeah, just good.
Phenomenal game. So
You did
smart.
so
I knew
good.
it.
It was
I
really
knew it.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, you all were so great.
Booyah.
LeAnn,
You're
I'm
muted.
just fidgety.
Yeah, LeAnn, you did have a lot of great reads along the way. That how successful did you feel like you were with the body language?
I felt like I was great from the get-go. I had Tiffany nailed, and I was staying close to Tiffany. And then I knew Claire had to be when she put me up toward the end, because she was like transferring on to me what she was hoping she wasn't doing.
Yeah.
But I felt like I did okay. You know, you guys have no idea the amount of research I did.
We have to listen to your body language cues a little more next time.
But it really is a thing, especially in the Zoom calls, because you are going to react. You do react.
But for this body language research that you got.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it back and like notice what the traders were doing. You guys did a
No,
really good
Tiffany,
game.
I did not have you at all. I was like, Tiffany's my girl. We're gonna figure it out
I
together.
was so sad when
I did.
because I'm like, I don't want to get QT, but it's the only thing that makes sense right now.
No.
I had Tiffany at the
Yeah.
start in my head, but I didn't want to go there because
Right.
what you wanted.
And then I knew Claire got recruited right before I got killed, because she like switched up. You switched up on going from Tiffany, and then you like switched your target. And then also I kept saying, I think there's a recruit last round. And then Claire was like, no, it was 2 rounds ago. Let's not think about that. I'm like,
I
yeah.
really
Yeah.
felt like you plotted it. And I was like, QT's just not saying anything, and she's gonna go to the end with me and be like, I'm getting rid of you. And so yeah, at that point, like, it was like QT has to go.
I will
makes
say
sense. But
that
it
was
so
very
good.
cool, because I felt like the two of you, Tiffany and Claire, once the recruitment happened, it was very clear y'all were going to work together and you were not turning on each other. And I thought that would have been a very good ending. How did the 2-on-1 happen at the Final Four?
Yeah.
I think I brought it up. Like, they're not going after each other. Like, that was suspicious to me. And so then they kind of had to say something about each other.
Yeah, I
It was
wish.
a numbers game.
What?
It was a numbers game for me. I knew no matter what that Bowie and Bayleigh were coming after me. So I'm like, I don't care. I'm not saying Claire's name because the chances of her saying my name are way lower than Bowie and Bayleigh.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I shift the blame to either one of them. But in the end, it was still 2-on-1. So it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, to me, I like kind of felt like we were reading each other wrong there. But like going into the game, I was like, no matter what, if I was playing this game, I would always go down to 2. And like, I didn't want to write your name down, but I'm like, I can't imagine an in-game that we stop at 3. So it is a little bit like, if there's collateral, like, and if it's me or if it's you, I was like, that just will be what it will be, odds are. But I was like, how fun would it be if it was the 2 of us?
I wanted it to be so bad. I wanted it
I
to
know.
be so bad.
Coin flip at 4 is brutal though. Like that.
Yeah. Can I go to Bowie? And Bowie, you had a very tough decision to make at the end of the game to decide whether to believe Claire or Bayleigh. How did you make that very hard decision?
Well, I said a few rounds ago, Bayleigh, I just had a feeling that I didn't trust the situation. And I thought it is a little bit of not a gamble completely, but like weighted towards Bayleigh. So I'm going to go with that decision. And I thought, you know what? I don't doubt that Claire's playing a really, really good game here. But some of the votes she made worked for my reasoning and some didn't. So yeah.
But I said earlier when I was on mute, I think Bowie Jane, you played a really good game because I don't think you ever got targeted.
Pooh, you're sharing your
Game-
screen.
Oh, what happened then? Yeah.
No, she didn't get targeted. That was she
Yeah,
did.
nobody ever. So you have a very good ability to go under the radar.
Well,
Faithful.
Yeah.
and I did throw out Bailey's name when Claire and I were in a room for like 1 second together, and I was like, Bayleigh, and then Bayleigh jumped in, and I was like, shit. So I couldn't have any more discussion. So
That's what I try and do. I just try and be in every room. It works.
yeah, I didn't move.
Dwight, so I'd love to get your thoughts on everything because I feel like that you really, got the resistance started against the traitors, but then the person who was tasked with avenging you became a traitor. So how are you feeling at the end of this ride?
I am happy that Claire ended up, avenging me in some sort, got the people I was calling out and then, one as a traitor anyways. But it's still like, it's an individual game, even though it's like traitors versus faithful. It's individual. So I'm glad Claire ended up sticking it out. Like, she played the game I wanted to of like, knowing who the traitors are, being able to ride that to the end. I just know that I am very bad at keeping my mouth shut when I know things. I'm just like, if I go in and aren't trying to be a detective, people are gonna vote me out for like being too quiet. So I was like, why not? I called out 6 people's names. I was like, oh, here's 3 pairs, one of them from like the traitor for one of them. So I said 6 people's names one day. No shit, I get murdered that night. So I'm like, Claire did what I wanted to of like having that info and not, being loud about it and running with that and getting people out. So I am so impressed by Claire.
Jelinsky, it was such an emotional ride for you to get to the top 5. You really put everything you love on the line to try to be adamant about you being one of the faithful. How are you feeling?
I feel really, really good. I feel like, I had a good read on mostly everybody. And I feel like the thing that really tricked me up was when Claire moved to being a traitor. That really threw me off.
Yeah.
However, I knew Tiffany was a traitor the whole time. And I don't know if people were listening, like when I was in a breakout room by myself, I was saying, yo, I know Tiff's a traitor. It's just a matter of when I say it or not.
Yeah. So let me just clear up a couple of things that some interesting things that happened with the shields. Okay. I think that so in terms of the different shields coming out, Claire had one at one point. So Joseph actually had the shield the round that he got banished. So that was an interesting note that the traitors had the shield, but Joseph ended up getting banished. But the round that had the real weirdness going on was there was a kill in plain sight round where Felicia took on the charge. We came to the traitors and we said, somebody is going to get poisoned today. And the way that they get poisoned is that you have to get them to repeat the word spaghetti. And Felicia took on this task and did not achieve it. And so Jelinsky had the shield and thought that I have the shield. They came for me, but I had the shield. I was saved. No, the traitors failed at their mission to poison someone, Felicia, when the traitors when you had to get somebody to say spaghetti, but everybody was too busy talking game.
Wait, who did you try to get to say spaghetti?
Well, I tried to talk about food. I said, I'm really hungry. But nobody would jump on the food conversation with me.
I just kept eating my sandwich.
Right. Because remember Bowie Jane? I said, Bowie Jane, what do you eat? That looks good.
Oh my
I
God.
remember. That's funny.
And then because nobody said spaghetti, then the traitors did not get to kill that night. But it went down as they looked like, okay, they tried to kill Jelinsky, but he had the shield.
What if Felicia would have said spaghetti herself to
Then
get
we would have canceled the kill. She couldn't have said repeat after me, spaghetti.
That's a hard word to try to get someone to say.
Right?
Yeah.
What if y'all was like, hey, what's your favorite Italian food? I probably would have said spaghetti and not think anything of it.
Mhm.
I would have been like chicken parm.
We made Felicia do it. She didn't want to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, what a fun ride this was. So, Quinn, you stood up to get your jacket.
I know. Guilty as charged. I got a little nippy in here. You know, I'm devastated that I had to turn my back on Bayleigh, but I had already like Bayleigh, when you came into that Zoom call, I was like, I hate to say it, but I think she might be a traitor. And then you joined and you're like, yo, Joseph's talking trash about you. And I was like, oh boy. And so I felt like I had to commit to you there. And I was like, no way Joseph is going to do this to me. You know, like, come on, please. I'm so devastated.
Jake, everybody piled on votes for you. They were so sure that you were one of the traitors.
I'm honored to be thought of as a traitor, I guess.
Jake, I never thought it was you.
Thanks,
Rob,
TT.
I do wish Evvie was here, because if y'all heard Evvie's crash out when they came into the dungeon, Evvie was like, oh, I can't wait. Tiffany, check it out after.
Oh boy.
Stephanie,
It was hot, huh?
how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Can you all hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah.
You're on the road.
Yes, we're on the way to dinner.
Okay. What's for dinner? Spaghetti? Okay.
Great time.
Stephanie, I really am sorry. I didn't want you to go.
No, I understand. It is what it is. I'm mad at, all of you, so it's fine.
Hey, and Stephanie, like when you think about it, for a Wurtenberger performance, you're right in the middle.
I beat Quori.
Okay.
Yes.
Joseph,
Yeah.
you got it started with the Traitors. You were riding high, and then all of a sudden it came crashing down.
Yeah, when I was told I was a traitor, I was like, oh no, Rob, oh, I hate this. Like, I knew people were going to be sketched out by me the whole time, either way. The mustache, my general demeanor. It was only going to be a matter of time, which is why, Quinn, I had to throw you under the bus, buddy. You're just too sketchy looking. So I was like, if there's anyone who's sketchy to me, it might be him. So that's why I had to do it. But it was a fun run, and I'm glad I got to do it with Felicia and Tiffany. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Tiffany, you got it 99% of the way for the Traitors. How hard was this for you today?
At first, it was really hard. The thing is, I came in with the expectation that I was going to end up a traitor, but it was a lot harder than I thought. There were so many moments where my heart was like pounding. And then when people started bringing up my name, I'm like, okay, now I got to throw blows because I'm not going out like this. It's a lot harder to defend yourself when you know you're guilty.
Yeah. Yep.
People are like, oh, you're too defensive. And you're like, what do I do? Like,
I have to have so much conviction behind what I say, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, y'all are right, but I have to gaslight.
That's funny.
When Felicia went home, I thought you were cooked. And then like Claire was coming at you or something, and you like eased up a little bit. You're like, wait, never mind. And then like everyone just looked away from you. I was like, damn, that was so good.
I think that was the thing that saved me. I had to pull Claire in. I was like, she's doing too good. She either got to get down with the crew or she got to get out of the game. Like,
right.
Claire, can I get ahead of something from social media that there was some question of, was Derek X on social media during when he was talking to you?
No, Derek X was not on social media when he was talking to me. At one point, when I had become a traitor, he was like, I'm going to look and I'll know. And I'm like, I'm already the traitor. We already know who it is. Why would you look? I promise.
Yeah. Listen, that I only brought it up just to get ahead of it because I feel like that people on Twitter run with these things. Claire does not need to cheat at the Traitors, okay? and Derek X does not care enough.
Yeah,
at the Traitors.
I promise he does not care.
Okay.
Imagine with a game that you're not
Claire, that's the only reason I bring it up, just because I don't want these accounts they do what they want. It doesn't matter what's the truth.
Claire, bring Derek up and tell me how to win Amazing Race.
Like Claire said to Derek at one point, she was like, you should play next time then. Like if you really want to get involved.
He was like, you sound so bad. And it was like the second something. I'm like, okay, well.
Puya, anything else that we should ask everybody before we wrap this up?
If you had fun with this, there's plenty of Traitors to go around, aside from watching this back a couple of times, as you should. We've got Traitors UK happening right now. Traitors US is coming back for a season 3, January 9th. And we're very hyped. All in all,
Yep.
good time to be a Traitors fan.
Yeah, we did a preview podcast about every single person in Traitors season 3. That's up in our Traitors podcast feed. WeKnowTraitors.com for that. Thank you, everybody. Over 5.5 hours of this nonsense here today. A couple of starts and stops along the way, but thank you all so much for bearing with us. First of all, thank you to this amazing cast that brought so much to it. Cast, anything else that anybody wants to get off their chest or let people know?
I want to thank you too, Rob, and all of your production people. Everything, despite the glitches.
A lot went into this, LeAnn, and so I could not have done this without our team that's been planning for this for weeks. Puya, first off, thank you for everything that you've done to get this set up, and I can't wait to go back and look at some of the stuff that you had going on today. Behind the scenes, Grace Leader and Sam Moore have been planning. Brandon Donlin did a lot of planning with us, and then on social media, Lavina and Mike Bloom also kept everybody posted. Thanks to everybody who watched us along the way. Thousands of people were watching us all afternoon, and hopefully had a lot of fun with this. And so hopefully we can do more stuff like this in the future. So thank you. And really to all of you who put yourselves out there to play this stupid game for no money. Thank you so much.
Rob, can people go back and watch this after the fact?
Yes, they can.
Okay, can you send each of us a link so we can post it on our social media?
We will get you the links, Felicia. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank
everybody. Thank you so much.
I love your costumes too.
Thank you, Felicia. Thank you all so much. Thank you for watching. Take care, everybody.
It was fun.
Bye.
Bye.